Former Python Terry Gilliam is with us this morning. He's the one who did those marvellous surreal cartoons and has since made a name for himself as a film director. His credits include Jabberwocky, The Time Bandits, and on Friday his latest venture, Brazil, reaches the cinema. It's a black comedy. It seems to have a touch of Python-esque surrealism in it. It's set in a totalitarian state with hints of Big Brother about it, and it revolves around a society of high technology where nothing works properly, a bit like working on Breakfast Time. The hero is a ministry clerk called Sam, who dreams of flying free like a birdman and wakes up to the world he's been trying to escape from. It looks a must for all fans of Python and anything that's happened since then in the surreal world, doesn't it?
In the surreal world. It's odd, actually. I try to warn people, Python fans, not to go and see it if they expect a Python film, because it's not that. I mean, bits like that are very funny, and there's a lot of funny things in it, but it's a bit darker than that. It's stranger. It involves things like romance, an odd concept, I think, in this day and age, and it gets very dark. Actually, there's interesting, in the introduction you were saying totalitarian state and Big Brother, and it seems to be popping up in articles I'm writing about it, and it's not about that at all. It's extraordinary.
Well, a lot of people have likened it to 1984, the film that came out last year, which was the deadly serious side to the Big Brother thing.
This is definitely the more comic side of it, but it's weird because people see the film and they say a totalitarian state, and I don't actually think it is. I think it's a bureaucratic state, not unlike the world we live in, where little things like we were reading about in the paper this morning keep cropping up.
People say that it's about bureaucracy and so on, and they also liken it to, I don't quite know how to put it, because you say it's not set in the future. I mean, is it set in today?
No, it's actually set in both the past, present, and future. I was trying to do, in a way, what I do in the cartoons, where it's like a collage, where you mix engravings and paintings and everything. So I was mixing the past, present, and future all in one thing. So they wear clothes that maybe are from the 40s, drive little Messerschmitt bubble cars from the 50s. The technology is a mixture of something old, something new.
Because you've got a microwave oven in there, so that doesn't quite fit in with the bubble cars.
This is true.
So it's a complete mix-up.
Yes, it's very confusing. I don't understand it.
That although you're a lot out of touch with things coming back after you're in America, in fact, as far as films are concerned, you're well in advance, because you reviewed films over there that we're only just seeing.
That's right. I mean, Amadeus and The Killing Fields and Places in the Heart, Passage to India, all of those films were already released from the summer onwards in America.
First, then go to the States, reversing the trend. We're going to try to sweep westward from the heartland of Europe.
But didn't you show it to Steven Spielberg in Los Angeles?
Yes, there's a private thing we can't talk about. There's a lot of hand-holding and hugging and things like that in the dark. But
carry on talking about it. We like it. What did he say?
Well, again, this is extraordinary. This is the way that things get confused. I was quoted as saying, or he was quoted as saying, it was like he was seeing his nightmares. In fact, when he was watching, he was saying it's like he was seeing his dreams. And I said, wait for the nightmares, is what the quote really was, this legendary quote.
But he was being very complimentary about it. That's what you're avoiding.
Oh, yes. He was quite amazed by it. It is, because there are elements in there that are not unlike his films. I think it's like a lot of films, unfortunately. It's like, or fortunately, as the case may be, because it's like using our knowledge of the cinema as the vocabulary within which one works. So it's got references to all sorts of things. But one of the things it does have is, I think, a lot more comment and content about where we are now as opposed to the majority of the popular cinema now. What's bothering me at the moment is that everything is escapist. Everything is, you're allowed maybe 2 emotions in the entire film, and that's it.
There's a lot of good movies about on, because those two you mentioned, Amadeus.
You know, it uses, especially in the second half, the whole business of Cambodian auto-genocide, where an entire nation decided to destroy itself, to start again. And I find that amazing, because even though I knew it had happened, I didn't really feel anything about that. And it's probably one of the most extraordinary events of the 20th century, and yet we don't really know about it. I mean, they killed themselves to start again.
Can I just, we're almost running out of time now. What are you going to be doing now? You're back from America.
Shall we go out singing and dancing together?
Would you dance, Miss Wine?
Yes.
Brazil, where hearts were entertaining June, way down beneath the amber moon.
Hey, very nice to have you with us again. Yeah, come and see us anytime.